As you may know, from time to time, I do like to do more serious commentaries to take a break from the norm of the more funny commentaries or the less serious commentaries. And don't get me wrong, I do have a lot of fun with those, but again, like I said before, I do like to be more serious about things. So I talked about this commentary about just being happy, and a lot of people really enjoyed it. So I did want to kind of speak my piece on another topic that's going through my mind, and really not so much of a topic, more than just a title I'm going around, and the title is Enjoy Every Step of Your Journey. And here's why I'm explaining this. Last week, or maybe not even last week, it was just a couple of days ago actually, I went to the eye doctor, and he informed me that my stigmatism in my right eye is pretty bad. So bad that I'm considered halfway to being legally blind at age 19. And now, it may not sound like such a big deal to some people, but to me it hit me hard, and it hit my mom hard as well. She kind of was upset about it, and I was too. It's natural to be upset about something like that, being halfway to legally blind at age 19. Again, it's not the most devastating news to get, but it's definitely an eye opener. And for me, I really enjoy seeing the world. I really like nature. I like running outside, observing animals, nature. I've mentioned this before. Just anything. I really like observing, just being to myself and observing things. And the thought occurred to me that if I did lose my vision completely, or I could see very limited, like worse, that I would not be able to function in society. And my eye doctor did tell me that if I lost my good eye, quote unquote, which would be my left eye, if I did get that poked out for some reason, if somehow, maybe I just fell on a magical knife or something, knock on wood there, don't want to do that, but if something like that happened, I wouldn't be able to function very well. As with my right eye, just to give you an idea how bad it is, if I close my left eye and I'm looking out my bad eye, then the biggest, usually it's an E on the charts, the whole vision testing charts, the big E or whatever it is, I can barely see that. So that gives you an idea of how bad it is. But it occurred to me that if I lost my vision, I'm not entirely sure what I would do. First of all, I really enjoy the world, and I enjoy seeing things, observing things. It would affect me in many ways. I'm not sure how well I'd be able to function in general. I also thought about how it would affect people around me. Would I be able to remember what my own friends look like, or what my own family looks like? Would I be able to remember these little things that make me appreciate life? The thought of all that being stripped away from me was too much. So for the whole day, I was pretty sad about it, and I kind of sat and thought to myself for most of the day. Didn't do a lot of physical activity. Didn't do a lot of anything really. Just kind of sat around and moped around. The next day I was pretty fine about it, and right now I'm pretty fine with it, because I've come to realize that there's no way I'm going to be able to avoid if that happens. What happens happens, and that's that. It's very important that right now where I'm at, that I do appreciate life, and I do appreciate every step of my journey that I'm on, my journey of life, as cliche as it sounds, because tomorrow's not promised at all, and it's something inevitable. We're all going to die at the end of the day, whether you believe in a type of God or an afterlife or you don't. We all can agree on one thing, is that we're going to die, and death is inevitable. And as depressing as that sounds, don't let it be. Don't let it be depressing to you. Let it be something that fuels your reason to live and to appreciate life, is what it is right now. Because again, like I said, tomorrow's not promised. So let it be a fuel for you. And you can say to yourself, hey, I'm alive right now, so I'm going to make the best of what I have right now, regardless if I have shortcomings or something like that. Because I think society has molded us into something we're not. We're told that we have to wear certain brands of clothes to look cool, or our hair needs to be a certain way, or we have to listen to certain bands, or we have to do this, we have to do that. And never, or very rarely, do people say to themselves, hey, I'm going to break out of the norm and I'm going to try to be myself. And maybe it's not as rare as you think, but for a person to do that, it takes a lot of courage to be able to break out of the norm, break out of the social status quo, if you will, and do what they want to do. And so when you do something different or odd, people don't understand it. They're almost scared by it. They don't know how to react to different, because people constantly want to go in this pattern of wake up, eat breakfast, go to school, go to work, come home, sleep, that's it. They want to go through this constant pattern. And for someone else to be doing something different, whether it be successful on a sport or something like this, maybe making videos, or whether it be just any type of different activity, people will often shun you or not approve of it simply because it scares them. So I think that's another thing we as a society need to kind of grow on is, or yeah, kind of express more is individuality. I think that's very important to be your own person, as difficult as it may be, because that's what makes life so awesome, is that there's so many different kinds of people out there. There's not just it's not just shades of black and gray. There's a whole color spectrum out there of people, and for for every day to go by and that color spectrum grows smaller, that people try to fit in or they're worried about not fitting in, is very, very upsetting to me as an individual. I would really, and I will always be like this, I hope. I like seeing people for who they are, and that doesn't mean that everyone's going to be perfect. Doesn't mean I'm going to get along with everyone. Doesn't mean everyone's going to get along with me. But as an individual, I do like seeing people for who they are and not just because they want to be cool, they want to fit in, or they want to blend in with society like a normal person. People walk on the sidewalks all the time, right? Nothing special. Think about this. What would happen if you were walking? Say you lived in a place like New York or something like that, because here in Alabama, or where I live, there's not really any place to be walking around where you see another person. But imagine you're in a bigger city like that, and you see tons of people walking on the sidewalk, and you see this one guy. He's walking off the sidewalk on the curb. He's just walking right beside you, but he's not on the sidewalk. What would you think of that person? There's many things that'll be going through your head, and I know there'd be multiple things going through my head. I'd be saying to myself, wow, this dude's really weird. Why isn't he on the sidewalk? Or, what's he doing? That doesn't make any sense. He's embarrassing himself. And none of this at all concerns me. Nothing. It's his life. He can do what he wants. He knows the risk that he could be hit by a car or a motorcycle or whatever. He knows that he's doing something different, and he knows the direction he's going in life. Maybe he's really enjoying walking on a different side of the sidewalk. And for me, who I don't have a right. Like, who has the right to tell you that you have to walk on the sidewalk? I mean, honestly, who has the right to tell you that? You can, of course, this is a metaphor of sorts, but you don't have to walk on the sidewalk. You don't have to blend in society, do what they tell you. You need to be yourself and express your individuality the best you can, because there's one copy of you. All this is sounding like posters on your elementary school wall, I'm sure, but there's only one kind of you, and you don't need to be someone else. That's something I can't express enough. And I started realizing after all these revelations of sorts in my mind that I don't appreciate life as much as I should, because probably about 2 months ago, I would say, I was at work and it was very stressful. I just lost contact with a couple of my buddies. We weren't really getting along, so I stopped talking to them. And I was at work. I was stressed out. Some customers were really making me mad, and I was just in my own zone thinking all day. So there's these self-checkout machines at work. I'm sure some of you are aware of them. And I had to help this customer, so I went and I helped this customer. All that, I wasn't feeling very well. Again, I was in a bad state of mind, and they realized this. And so I was walking back to my register, because you do have to watch over these self-checkout machines, and I saw this little piece of, I'm not really sure how to explain, just it's got like a little dog tag, but it's made of paper. And I saw it on the ground, and on the back it was blank, it was white, but there was 2 words written on it that said "take me." So naturally, I'm going to take this thing, because I'm the type of person, if it says "take me," I'm going to do it. And I'm also the type of person, if it says "don't walk on the grass," I'm going to do it just because they say "don't walk on the grass." But I took this thing and I twisted it over, and it said, "enjoy every step of your journey." And there's these footsteps on it. And I didn't really understand it at the time. I didn't think of it. I thought, wow, this is really cool. I'm going to put it in my pocket and keep it. But as I found it on my shelf today, and with all these issues that have been going on with me, that people are just scared to be themselves, and I'm halfway to being legally blind, it made me realize that I'm not enjoying every step of my journey at the moment. I'm not taking full advantage of what's going on, because I let these little things build up and get to me, and I let people tell me that I do have to walk on the sidewalk, and I do have to do this, and I do have to do that, and it's controlling. It's sad that it's like that. And so every once in a while, I do have these revelations of sort, like I said, not so much like spiritual or anything, but just kind of these ideas that open up in my head that tell myself, hey, I'm a human being, and uh, I can change anytime I want to. It just takes a little bit of willpower. So, guys, this thing's over. I really appreciate you watching it. And I'm not really going to ask for your likes, your subscriptions, your favorites, or anything like that. Although those really help my channel grow, and it's really nice of you to do. If there's one thing I could ask from this video, it's to make you realize that you're an individual, and wherever you're at right now and whoever you are, your life does matter. So you are significant. So enjoy every step of your journey. Thanks for watching.